Isn't he the bartender on Cheers?
Sam Malone. Sam Malone.
Sam Malone.
Sam Malone was he was the bartender on Cheers. Welcome to another episode of Motor City Metrics. Oh, wow. Take two. Tiger Minor League Report. Yeah, there we go. That's the podcast. I am still jet lagged. Rogelio Castillo alongside me is Chris Brown and Brandon Day. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. And, of course, on TigersAmmoReport.com. By the way, if you want to donate, it'd be greatly appreciated. We have a trip coming up to Erie, the last trip of the year, and then we have Toledo on Friday. As we're going to go out there with Jackson Jobe. So we haven't gotten donations in a while. And like I said, after the end of the year, we're going to be doing kind of like a whole thing for spring training, what have you. So can't afford to go to Arizona fall ball. We don't get $1,000 donations like that. But if you feel like donating, please, just a few bucks goes a long way. We really appreciate it. There's a PayPal link. And then, of course, we just posted out a content. Chris did an excellent job talking about Riley Greene. And no, we're not comparing him to Justin Thompson. No, we're not comparing him to Alan Trammell. No, we're not comparing him to Lou Whitaker. Read the damn article. Yeah. We make a comment.
Well, yeah, I mean, Jason Thompson did get his name in there a couple times because he was on some of the lists that Riley Greene is. But yeah, no, we were just happened to be. This happens once or twice a week where you'll just call and we'll just kind of randomly talk baseball stats and play around with StatHead and just kind of going through it. And we're like, Riley Greene. Like, he obviously had a monster game yesterday, and everybody realizes that, and everybody likes Riley Greene. He's an all-star. We all know that. But, just going through, I'm like, I feel like people don't appreciate how young he still is. He's younger. I didn't put it in the article, but he's young. Oh, flies out. He's younger than 8 or 9 members of our top 31 still.
Yeah.
So,
you've been in the league for a couple of years. Everybody kind of gives up on you, like it's already, like this is the finished product. I think AJ was just talking about that the other day. Riley's just getting started. He can get a lot better than this.
Yeah, I mean, he's got fewer than 350 big league games, so he's having an awesome season, and it was fun to write about him for a little bit. But this is this is fun doing this watch along. The Tigers are playing playoff baseball right now. Basically every one of these games has been playoff game, and they're playing like it. It's really fun. You get down 4-0 on a Bobby Witt grand slam. We were just talking about it. Reese Olson comes back, looks pretty good, but that brutal hanging curveball, and just the last guy in the world you want to do that to. Yeah. But the Tigers, seemingly unbothered, just come out and keep battling. They've been battling since the first at bat of the game. They got Lugo out of the game a lot earlier than I was expecting. So I don't know. This is fun. You just got to stick with it now.
He's younger than the PlayStation. Yes. Yeah. Sean, thank you for the $5.
That ball is gone.
I think he's younger than the PlayStation 2.
Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, was anybody going? People going into the Orioles series were like, "Oh, we can't beat the Orioles," and I made a big fuss on Twitter, like, stop being scared of some of these teams. Like the Orioles haven't even been that good in the second half. Their pitching isn't any better than ours, if it's even as good. A lot they have the reputation because you got Gunnar Henderson, you got Adley Rutschman, and we know those guys are really good. We know Anthony Santander is really good, but it's not like Kobe Mayo's turned into a star. Heston Kjerstad, Jackson Holliday's still trying to figure it out. They're not a juggernaut yet. They might turn into one. But right now they're just a good team trying to catch the Yankees, and they had all the pressure on them in that series. And the Tigers played like they kind of had nothing to lose, and that seems to be the vibe. Like they're the team chemistry is good. They're not scared because they don't know enough. Don't know enough to be scared. Why would they? They're like playing with house money out there right now. So it's been really fun to see them battle these teams. I mean, the Orioles had a really tough time with the Tigers. Scratched out one game, the game that they should win with Corbin Burns, and they barely hung on to that game. Parker hits a home run in the 9th because they don't quit, and then Colt gets a single, they make a mistake. All of a sudden, the Tigers are 2 back. They didn't win that one, but there's just no quit in this team. And I don't want to get all too warm and fuzzy about the culture of the team exactly, but it's obviously there. These guys have played with each other a lot. They're all kind of the same age for the most part, especially the positional group. And they don't give up. How many games have we seen this year where they struggle with the starter for 5-6 innings and then light up the bullpen? They don't go away. So that's a very good sign for the future. And whatever happens here, they're getting a ton of good experience right here.
Yeah.
The Royals don't go away either.
Was that?
No, they don't.
Was that a home run?
Yeah,
it's a leadoff triple.
No, it's a double.
God
Yeah, probably triple.
damn it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they watched the relay. Kyle Isbell. Yeah, the Royals are tough, man. Kaufman's kind of a nightmare.
Yeah, Kauffman is a stadium that, I mean, I think about when the Tigers were trying to clinch it in 06 too, and how hard it was to do that. And look, I admit that I was one of those people that thought the Tigers would fade a little bit because of the issues with the starting rotation. Just again, Hinch's addition, but how far was he able to carry it? But I'm glad to be proven wrong.
And instead it's Casey Mize and Reese Olson screwing us over. We started to get the rotation back together, and everything's going bad now.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody expected Sean Gunther to do what he's done since he's called it from AAA, then you're a damn liar. You should play the lottery. But there's a lot of things to factor into. Again, even there was a stat too that ever since Javi Baez is out, the Tigers are 12-4. And let me just say this: yes, oh no, what just happened now?
No, flying out.
That was an out. Thank God. Everybody knows that Javi Baez is not good, but the piling on, I'm just. Like just saying he's a clubhouse cancer. How do you know? There's nothing been out there. If somebody who's been to many games down in the clubhouse is not a clubhouse cancer. Doesn't say anything to anybody. Doesn't mean he's a clubhouse cancer. I don't know where this perception is come on Twitter that this guy is just a total POS, but I'm really getting tired of it. Like we know he's bad, but enough piling on that. Enough. It is. Yeah. Beyond it's such a stupid, easy thing to do. It's like the guy's not playing anymore. What else? Well, Sweeney's the shortstop of the future. Okay, cool. You're gonna determine that based off 30 or 40 games of a sample size, and when teams haven't adjusted to him yet. Come on, not that I don't.
I mean, this is the garbage.
Yeah,
this is the garbage that happens whenever once people start caring and all the casuals start showing up again. All of a sudden it's, Kenta Maeda doesn't care anymore. He got his money. Javi Baez sucks and he doesn't care about the team. Like it's just people projecting the fact that they're mad because the player isn't performing as they're supposed to perform. That's all it is. But the Javi Baez stuff gets particularly disgusting, and I don't really get it either. If you go to talk to Cub fans, Javi Baez is still a god there because for 6 years he was an absolute warrior and threw his body around in every possible way. Help lead them to like the greatest moment that they've had in over 100 years. And we bought the back end of it, and that's often how it goes when you lock into a free agent, especially one who doesn't really have the the kind of carrying skills that tend to hold up in their 30s. No one, it's not like any of us are terribly surprised that Javier Baez did not turn out to produce a bunch of all-star seasons with us and crumbled. He was not the guy any of us wanted. I know that, but that doesn't change the fact that Javier Baez generally has a reputation as a great teammate. People like him. He's just had a couple moments on the field where he's like giving it back to the fans. And, when you do that, you kind of have to live it down. But, most of the people we're talking about don't even know about any of that stuff. They're just pissed. So, I'm pretty well dismissible, but
it's dismissive. It's just, I'm sick of it. It's just because like this is casualness of, again, the guy hasn't been playing enough. Just shut up. Like the guy hasn't been. We know how bad he's been. So let it.
And he's not even there. He's not even there.
Yeah, let it go.
I mean, I maybe I missed something, but I didn't. I just haven't seen anybody talking about Baez at all.
There's a couple of Twitter accounts that have just been. I don't want to mention names because it's just pointless. Because
hopefully I already have them blocked.
Yeah, you probably do have them blocked because they're idiots.
I probably have them muted. I love the mute. I love the mute.
Mute's
Please
nice,
scream into the void. Scream into the void. Better scream at me than some regular person. Not that I'm not just a regular person, but I'm just very used to it.
Hi. You know what? You haven't watched Tiger baseball. You're all of a sudden now you're gonna come in like, oh, they're coming to the wild card. I'm gonna pretend I know my. Shut up. You can't come in here acting like you're some sort of like. It's the same thing. It's the same people who were mad about Jared Goff yesterday. Oh, I told you Jared Goff would suck. Like, knock it off. Stop.
Yeah.
I think
he has
that's the problem when you get. This is a fundamental problem with when you get good. When you get good, you get a whole lot more interest from people who don't normally pay attention. Like we're gonna have tons of fans of the Tigers next year who haven't paid any attention to this team in like over a decade practically. And it's just going to be, stupidity theater. And we're just gonna have to deal with it. But I don't want to gatekeep too much either. Like I want them to come in. I just want them to pay attention. It's like, it's it's a push pull
Yeah,
between not wanting to like bite all their heads off, but
right.
There's a lot of the stupid angry takes can go away for sure.
Yeah. No, you're right, Brandon. And I don't want that to be the gate. I don't want to be a gatekeeper because I hate gatekeeping. Adam, I'll be there. I'll be in Erie on Thursday. So, no,
Roger's hot. Roger's hot right now.
Yeah, like I said, this is not going to be the case next year where yeah, you're right. I'm going to have to pull this off next year when all these people keep getting, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And it's okay. You know what? Yeah. Look, the bottom line is that Tigers are playing competitive baseball, and that's all we can ask for. So it's 6-4 now in the bottom of the fifth. There's a challenge just happened current right now.
It is interesting. So first, Bobby Witt gets an RBI on a little dribbler to Hannafy that he didn't get to first quickly enough. So it's an infield single. And Bobby Witt steals second on what appears to be a pitch out. At least is classified as a pitch out, although it was only 89 miles an hour. So I don't know if Hannafy has thrown a pitch out in his career, but I think you would want to throw your fastball.
Close.
And they're saying that really and the Tigers are challenging that he stole it. So
okay.
It's incredibly close. Jake's throw tailed a little bit of a side armor. He made a great throw earlier to I can't even remember who he cut down, but it was a heck of a throw and got him. But he was ruled safe, but it was catcher interference, or it was batter interference anyway. But he did get him. So I love watching me some Jake Rogers behind the plate. He's hasn't really been able to get it going with the bat in the second half here, though. There's a couple little stretches where it looked like it was going to be good. I keep in the back of my mind thinking that if we had, I'm sorry, Dylan, but if we had just kept Carson Kelly, because I didn't care that much for what we got for him, we're probably a win better right now.
Yeah.
And I love Dylan, and I think Dylan's going to work out next year, but he needs time, Anyway, we could relitigate the whole season as far as like if we come up a game or two short here, everything is going to be suspect.
Yeah, I mean, even like John Morosi brought up the game against the Twins where they made 2 errors for the Twins to come back earlier in the year. So I mean, there's you can analyze games up and down the season, and so that's where that's going to be.
Kyle Manzardo just hit a 2-run homer to put the Twins down 4-3.
Nice.
Cleveland thank you, Kyle Manzardo.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a fun watch. Mute this screen audio. Is it still playing?
No, yeah, it's good now.
All right, I can hear it. It's driving me nuts. All right.
We should send out good vibes to Shawnee Pat in the hat there. Medical procedure in the morning. I hope everything goes really good. Thanks for the donation.
I did not.
And you're probably right. Mark Garage probably is freaking out about Veerling's throw.
Yeah. Because
Veerling, despite having the best arm out there, has a real bad habit of like just throwing it in the general direction as hard as he possibly can without hitting anyone or anything.
You're talking about Dingler too. Yeah, Dingler does call a good game, and that's why he's on this roster. And so the adjustments for him to get at the plate will probably be something where it's just going to be a slow process. And Tigers defensively behind the plate have gotten some of the best catching production. I think they were among the top 3 in catchers with Kelly there. I'm not sure what they look like with Dingler now. So you trade that off. You trade the, like right now, I know like I think in one of our chats, somebody was talking about Dingler struggling, but it's just, you kind of expected this a little bit. I mean, honestly, this was something that for especially Dingler's mashing everything at Toledo, but it was just going to be like, okay, well, great. That's awesome. That's what he should have been like. He's finally living up to that. But in terms of calling a game, that has never been an issue, and that will not be an issue. So it's just,
and he's grading out. He's grading out above average in pretty much every category. I mean, as you'd expect. Not way above, but framing is good, throwing is good. I mean, we know he's good enough behind the plate. That isn't really the question, but I'm hoping for kind of a James McCann type progression where like when he's like 26 or so, it all of a sudden kind of clicks and he starts to have a couple good years and he gets to the power a little bit more. Maybe a bit like Jake Rogers himself. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you, Adam, for the sticker there.
They're yelling at each other on the field.
Vance Wilson has been ejected.
Touch him all time.
Oh, really? What happened? Well, I'm watching the game. Well, so the game's behind me here.
I don't know. I saw McCoskey tweet about it, and he doesn't know what it's about.
Interesting. Vance Wilson, former Tiger catcher, Vance Wilson.
Yeah, former Tigers great. Married to no wait. I'm thinking of Matt Trainer.
Matt Trainer. Oh, okay.
We don't have the sound on, so I have no idea what he's mad about. It's just a dude going mad on the screen for some reason.
I have the TV. Yeah,
Is
so
it
the
the call?
TV is on behind me, and then we have our 3D view here. So, by the way, walking one of the best Steelers in the league to put the runners on the corners with one out would have been a ridiculous decision. Talk about walking Witt. So,
Who was?
Yeah, you just
somebody was trying to comment on Cody making a
walking in the run when the bases were loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Or was he talking about just?
Or no, somebody mentioned they should have walked Witt. They should have walked Witt. It's like, no, that's not the
man on third and one out. He's instantly going to steal second base, and then you have 2 men in scoring position with one out. So, you can't listen. He's having an amazing season, but you can't, completely avoid him. You got to try to get him out. Even guys having amazing seasons are going to make outs 2 out of 3 times theoretically. So, got to go get him.
Yeah, I mean, just don't put a hanger there, and you're fine. He has an 8.9 WAR season. He's almost at a 9 WAR season right now.
It's close to 10 on Fangraphs. Yeah,
it is.
Either way, I mean, it's
ridiculous.
It's one of the best shortstop seasons in baseball history.
Yeah, I mean, 31 home run or 32 home runs. He's got 29 steals. 29 steal, and he's gonna have 30. He's gonna have a 30 season. So that's a rare thing for shortstop, isn't it? I mean, isn't A-Rod one of the last guys to do 30?
He might be the only one that I can think of. Who else?
Trey Turner might have got close, but I don't think he got
Trey Turner, maybe Tulowitzki. I don't know. Let's
to
the nerd cave.
I don't think Tulo got that many steals either. But
no, I'm trying.
That's the tough part.
So in terms of so if you're looking at infielders, you know who had a 30-30 season that I did not expect? Howard Johnson.
Oh, really?
He had 2. I thought he had 2.
Yeah, he had 2 seasons. Yeah.
Jakey. Okay.
And Barry Larkin, 33 home runs, 36 steal, 1996.
Lindor is a good bet too, yeah.
Lindor, you think is a win? Okay, Preston Wilson.
Yeah, Lindor. So I'm looking right here. So there's been 10. Yeah, 10th shortstops. Howard Johnson did it 3 times?
Wow. Jimmy Rollins did it. Jimmy Rollins did it too.
Barry Larkin, Francisco Lindor, Brandon Phillips, Hanley Ramirez, A-Rod, Jimmy Rollins, Bobby Witt Jr.
Wow, I forgot when Hanley was fast. Like those first couple of years when it was like, oh, Hanley's the next, Alex Rodriguez here. All right, come on, Parker, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. And Michael, performance that Lindor has. Yeah, there's Ohtani's going to have, a 50-50 season?
Unreal.
Yeah.
What a just sick genius. A sick genius of baseball, that dude is.
I've never seen somebody who it sure feels like he can just whatever he wants to do, he'll just go and do it. Like, it wouldn't shock me if next year he's like, you know what, I'd like to hit 70 home runs, and he just goes and does it.
And strike out 200. Yeah.
He's the most remarkable baseball player I can ever remember seeing. Obviously there are other guys with crazy stats too, but just a 50-50 year.
Yeah, but I'm willing to say that he's the greatest baseball player of all time, as far as maybe his career numbers won't add up a certain way, but nobody's ever been this talented. This is as talented and skilled as it gets. It's insane.
It's absolutely absurd.
Plus, he looks like a superhero.
Oh man.
Oh no, our feeds are not aligned. What happened?
No, sorry. Oh, just he struck out. You got to get the ball and play, man.
Yeah.
Get one of these runs in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't complain too much about Parker Meadows. He can only be the hero so many times.
Every other night, yeah. Yeah, it's really been a remarkable run for Parker. I keep expecting him to kind of come back to, average major league hitter. That's kind of where I want him to be. That's what I'm hoping for. And there's, the walks and the chases don't really say that he's going to keep this going, but he's just hitting the crap out of the ball so often. And he's fast.
Yeah, it is a lefty, so.
Yep.
I wonder what do we have going on here? Are they going to Winsell coming in for a carry.
Oh, really? Oh, people are not going to like this. I don't actually like this, to be honest.
Yeah, it seems like it's Hinch trying to get.
Yeah, but he wants it here, but it's like, do not take Carey's last at bat out of this game, bro.
So one thing we were looking up earlier too, we were looking at rookie seasons in terms of hits over Colt Keith, who's got 120 now, 130 hits, I believe it was. Wait, 128 yesterday heading into tonight. So I'm sorry, 129. And we're looking at where Keith stacks up in terms of rookie seasons as far as like hitting goes, and this is where the Riley Greene idea came out of too, because we're looking at WAR, and there was a couple seasons where the Tigers had, I'm trying to remember what year it was, Chris. What was it? Was it they had two guys that hit 200 hits? 1929 was it? What?
Yeah, that was Dale Alexander and somebody else, right? Was two rookies with 200 hits in one season, but it was a different era. But yeah, I think Keith is like the third most hits by a Tigers rookie in the
modern
like
era.
the wild card era. Like it's basically Austin Jackson, Colt Keith, and shoot, who was the other one?
Brendan Bosch.
I didn't think he got quite that many hits, but I can I'll look at it again.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean he's in rare company right now. I mean he's playing more games than we talked about it. You know, he's playing more games than he ever has, and he's really like I don't think Keith has been injured. He seemed to like he was banged up briefly, I thought, but for a young kid, he's playing an awful lot.
Yeah, nothing major. And you know, I mean, the power kind of has slumped since pretty much since the All-Star break, but he does just keep hitting. It's like they've realized not to throw him any hangers, and that if you just pump fastballs at him, he's probably just going to single at worst. But he continues to single a lot. So yeah, so hopefully the next step is coming. But yeah, he's another one who's still really young. You know, I see people all the time who kind of talk about him like he was a college player or something. It's like, no, he's, you know, just about to turn 23 or just did. So
yeah, he's about
go ahead, Chris.
He's about a year younger than Riley Greene. So I mean, still, I mean, 22 for the age 22 season. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll take it.
By the way, Perez, if would have been healthy, would have had over 100 hits. He
get
has
him.
85 hits.
Get him, boy.
Did you get
I think this is his first at bat as a right-handed hitter. I think since I don't think he did it even in rehab.
No, he did not. He did not do it in rehab. Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
Oh.
I got the lag. All right, Wenzel. Let's go, kid.
Hold on,
Jake Rogers, like a tank around.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, Matt Wood, Castellanos.
Yes. Sorry,
Castellanos sounds right.
Castellanos, yeah.
Yeah, there it goes.
Nicholas.
Well, and I was saying, you know, I had a buddy who we were texting about this. He was asking me if Nick Castellanos was the best Tigers hitter to come through their system in the last 2 decades. And I was like, well, I mean, Riley Greene is already having a season about as good as Castellanos has ever had. So I'm going to say it's probably him, but Castellanos is up there. Eugenio Suarez has ended up being a really good big leaguer for a long time.
Yeah. Too bad we never got to see any Willie Adames.
Yeah. Willie Adames never did actually.
Maybe we will.
Yeah, that would be fun
eventually.
Oh, Johnny Schreiber coming in.
Yeah.
Brand new ball game.
You know, John Schreiber is one of those interesting cases where you could see that the Tigers. It was like one of those dividing line players. You know, not Caleb Thielbar so much, but Schreiber. Like they were like, oh, we like that. There's something there that we like, and they couldn't quite figure it out. And it was like 2 years later when they probably would have figured it out. You know, they just couldn't quite grasp how to use that stuff and get him dialed in.
Yeah, I think. And
before the new regime took over,
I thought he started throwing a fair amount harder once he got to Boston.
Yeah.
You know, not like crazy hard, but I'm looking.
Yeah, it went from like 92, 93 to 95. Yeah.
Actually, it was kind of crazy hard. So, yeah, in 2019 with the Tigers, he was 91.9. And then in 2020, he was 89.9. And then 2021 with Boston, he's 93. And then 2022 is 94.6. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good 3-4
He did get bigger, too, to be fair. He did bulk up. I want to say bulked up, but he did get bigger as when he was with the Boston, much bigger than he was when we saw him down in the minors, or even Detroit for that matter. So 6'6", top of 6. Wenzel Perez with his first hit on the right-hand side, and it's a clutch double over into the left field gap, in left field corner there. And so that's just some good instincts there by AJ Hinch to play to his strengths. He said he was going to play the bench, and that's exactly what he did. And so now that the Royals brought in
once again, I didn't like a pinch hit, and I was wrong. And AJ Hinch was right because AJ Hinch is usually right.
That's why he is a manager, and we're sitting at home right now. But it's okay. Yep. It's okay. Just quite frankly, it's this team has not shown any quit. I mean, honestly, that Bobby Witt Jr. grand slam earlier was the first time I swore. I mean, I always swear, but first time I swore in a long time, and I jumped up and down earlier, and I was
like
just like,
Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, I was like, watch up.
Oh, looks like he got him.
Oh, you know what?
I'm still laughing on the ground. Even kid's having a good time. Well, it's closer than I thought. Maybe he snuck in there.
Wild pitch.
Did he get him?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Did he? I don't know. All I see is what it's saying wild pitch on my game day. But fun fact: John Schreiber has the most WAR out of any Tigers draft pick that was signed in 2016.
Oh wow!
Really?
Wow! Oh man, what an indictment!
Yeah.
Oh boy, I don't know that's really close right there. You might be safe.
I mean, the Royals announced
what's it?
I have the game on behind me here.
So did they challenge that? Did they throw down?
Challenge it, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So it's not telling me any of this in my game day.
Shawnee Pat went to delete all of his angry Goff tweets yesterday. Sorry, Roger. I mean, I think anything during the game or just after is acceptable. That's kind of the rule we always have at Bless You Boys is like when the games matter, if you're losing your mind in the comments, we might ask you to chill out a little bit. Yeah. But I totally get it. It's like hours later when you're still just losing your mind that we might check you a little bit.
Call stands.
I lose my mind.
All right,
call them out.
Tyler says the call stands, that he's safe. So
okay, thank God.
All right, let's go.
All right. Although I do agree with Ray there. Why steal?
Yeah.
Well, was it an actual steal or was it a wild pitch in the dirt?
Pitch,
so
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
What was funny? Good. Yeah. He took advantage of it, but I need to see that again because it must have just ricocheted right back because it was way past him. But what was funny is that it looked like Vierling thought it was strike 3 because he started jogging to first a little bit. It was like, bro, just clear. I'm just getting out of the way. That's all.
Let's see if I can put him on. Obviously, I can't stream the game, but I have the game on another tab in here and it won't suck on my internet. So, all right. So I have the best of both worlds now. We have the 3D
game
and then I have the game in the other screen. Yeah. We got you covered here. So that way I'm not going to hurt my neck. Keep looking back over here on the TV in the living room because my wife has.
I might have a seizure from all this information coming from so many sources.
Yeah. Nice, well, I mean, it'd be nice if Schreiber wants to throw his hometown cookie there. No, I'm just joking. It's professional.
It would be nice to, Vierling just go ahead.
Just line it into right center, man. That's all.
Wait, is that him rocking back? Is that a new thing with him?
To Vierling?
Or no, Schreiber. Like, I don't remember him rocking back like that when he comes to the set.
That's possible. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't paid much attention in the last few years.
There we go, Matty V.
Oh, another foul.
Yeah, spoiling them.
Nice. Cleveland right now is up 4-3. So,
yeah, rooting for Cleveland.
By the way,
you know what? It doesn't feel that dirty, actually. I don't know. A little bit.
Nice.
That's our guy.
Nice.
Captain Oppo getting it done. All right.
Be a good time for Riley Greene to put one in the fountains too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just a nuke right now. Come on.
Yeah. You don't have to do too much of it.
Right.
Nice.
So the Twins.
That's what I'm talking about.
And the Twins have lost. Okay.
Twins have lost officially.
Master Class A closes the door.
So here we go. Here's our.
How about that?
Our Faustian bargain. The Cleveland wins it was a 4-game series, right? They 4-game sweep for Cleveland, but then Class A has to win the Cy Young over Skubal.
Hmm.
You know what? We'll put that. Okay. You know what? Okay. Everybody that's watching us on YouTube or Twitter right now, would you take that trade off? Would you
can we put a
trade?
poll?
Put a poll. Yeah. You know what? We can do a poll. We'll do a poll right now. Yeah. We can do that because I'll set up the poll here real quick.
I can't be involved because I have, I don't know, conflicting issues with the fact that Scuba winning a Cy Young will make me like $1,400. So,
there you go.
there's a little sweetener in the pot, but no, I honestly think getting into the playoffs. Yeah,
He put some money down at the beginning of the year for.
That's the only bet.
Okay.
Yeah, the only bet I've made in a couple years was, you know what, Scuba's American League Cy Young, guaranteed. I went after it. I had all this FanDuel money that they gave us for some promotion years ago, and I just never used it because I was like, I don't need to get into this. Last thing I need is to get a gambling habit going.
All right, let's see here.
No, I didn't. I didn't say that the Tigers are winning any games against the Royals. I just said that Cleveland takes 4 from the Twins. But yeah,
yeah, that's not good enough. I need guarantees, Chris. Guarantees of playoff berth. Yeah.
But
I don't even know how you phrase the question. Was it Cleveland sweeps?
I don't know. Would you trade a Cleveland sweep for Class A winning the Cy Young? Something like that.
Would you trade?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
In the words of Pick, we always accept the Twins losing. Yes.
I feel warm inside when that happens. Same with Cleveland, though. I feel like Schreiber sets up really well for Colt here, too. Well, he's going to throw something loopy that hangs up there, and it's going to get wrecked.
He dispatched Greene relatively quickly. I did not see that coming.
He did.
Let's see here. All right. I'll try to make sure I spell Class A correctly.
Yeah, like Ray, I want both. Let's get greedy now.
Yeah.
House money time, baby. Double down.
That's right. It was just I don't know. I normally hate things like this. Like, would you eat this every day for $10 billion? I'm like, yes, absolutely. I would eat.
It sounds like we're doing a 90. You know what? It sounds like a 97-1 poll.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. But so yeah.
I could eat some gross things for $1 million, though. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I've eaten some gross things for no money.
Yeah,
I think we all have. It's
one time at Michigan State, somebody dared me to eat a piece of pizza off the top of a garbage can, and I did. But I got gas. You know what? I got paid gas, or I got paid gas money. I got $50 for it. So, and I didn't get sick.
Like, what could go wrong?
Well, I mean, It's funny because how many times you think my dumb ass would have learned a lesson from that. So, there we go.
That was actually the sweeper I was looking for the whole time, too, but he nailed it right on the outer edge. Good pitch. Fine, John Schreiber. Fine. You're good now. I get it.
So, so far in the poll, we have 7 votes. 7 votes, 88% said yes, they would trade a Cleveland sweep Class A Cy Young for a Tigers playoff berth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's all 10 votes so far. Go ahead and vote. All right.
Yeah, just got to get called
I've got a poll for you. When I tweet something like Battle Cats Ho, that's sort of a reference back to the Thundercats or something. How old do I sound? Please weigh in the comments.
I just wait because when I was wait, that's the Thundercats. I'm like, that is a Thundercats reference. I'm like, wait, that is yeah, because I had
back into the 80s.
I had a conversation with my son earlier explaining X-Men in the 90s because he's watching X-Men 97, and we had an interesting talk about X-Men.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a By the way, props to Keiter Montero, who won the AL Pitcher of the Week. He has pitched.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. We watched somebody. Did we talk? Wait. Montero was no. So Brandon, you were not. No, you weren't on the show. No. Wait, you were on last week when we did? Wait, Montero was
on last week.
Okay. No. I'm just trying to remember if Montero's start was then.
So his start was it that Monday or was it Tuesday?
Tuesday.
I feel like it was Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
so we
so
just
we
didn't
hadn't
see
talked.
the complete game. We
Battle
definitely didn't talk about the complete game.
Maybe Battle Cat Ho was He-Man.
Yeah, it might have been.
Well, he had Cringer.
I mean, Thundercats Ho is Thundercats Ho is the scenario there. But yeah, sometimes you will get a combined Voltron and Thundercats reference from me. It's been too long; it's all a blur. But yeah, Cater is that was a really interesting week because it's not like he was like carving everybody up and racking up the strikeouts. What's really interesting, and this is what I meant to look into tonight after this show, is maybe we can figure it out, but he's getting a lot of ground balls, and that wasn't really the case for him in the minor leagues. He's a decided fly ball pitcher, pitching up with the four-seamer, and all of a sudden they're just beating everything into the ground against him, and it's pretty interesting to watch. I mean, some of that is usage. I think he's throwing the fastball down more. There've been a couple managers recently who kind of mentioned that the Tigers pitch down more than most teams with the fastball, and they're not used to seeing that. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Although I assume that as soon as people realize that, Chris Fetter's like, you know what, we're going to pitch up again. I got to say one step ahead of the curve. But speaking of the curve, yeah, I mean, Montero made some little tweak to the way he was throwing the knuckle curve, and all of a sudden it was just lethal on that first start. Didn't really see it so much yesterday, but
yeah, it was getting righties out with it, which is a pitch he struggled to get righties out against, and it was a very, very. He took advantage of a Rockies team that was very aggressive, anyways, and so But yeah, it to me the biggest thing what I noticed about Montero's start against Baltimore too. People are wondering why his innings was pulled. I think it was simply put, they're trying to watch his innings. I mean, this is I think a career high for him. I think he led the Tiger organization last year in innings thrown. I think he threw like 115, 120 or something like that. But he
has been the workhorse the last couple of years.
Yeah. And they needed that too. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, and I think the bullpen was just fresh too. That's another part of it is that if AJ Hinch can go to the bullpen and not let you see, his starter the third time, he's gonna do it. Just about every time unless it's Scooble. You really have to earn that from him. In a close game or a game they're really hungry to win. So, he wasn't getting many whiffs, and it kind of made sense. I thought to get him out of there where he was. You didn't want him to face the heart of the order again.
Stan, off the Frickers building.
Off the Frickers building.
Stan. Whoa.
Stan, thank you, Stan, for the 1999. Much appreciated. What just happened there?
So line out sharply to center fielder Parker Meadows. And a one pitch out.
Easy play for Parker Meadows.
That boy is good.
So
he is.
Look, Montero threw 127 and 1/3 innings last year, and he is at 136.1 now this year. So
wow. Okay.
They probably don't want to get him more than like 15, 20 more. But yeah, I mean that's been one of the big things with him is when you hear talk of guys like Montero and Ty Madden and from people like me saying like, hey, maybe the bullpen, it's always like you don't want to do it until you absolutely have to because these guys have a starter's arsenal and they've proven that they can work starters innings. And it's like, that's you really don't want to force these guys. And other than like catching a line drive off his foot, I think a few years ago, Montero has been remarkably healthy. So, there's definitely value in that.
Yep. But again, I just don't know if it was so much an innings thing or so much he didn't look good in the moment. His velocity was just down a tiny bit and close game, we're just going to the pen. So it's hard to know, but yeah, he really has been a workhorse, especially for the dude who was, listed at 6 feet, 135 pounds all these years, 445 pounds. How did he do it?
Well, there's the idea that Nick Spillane put in here about Mize, piggyback Mize and Herder tomorrow. Look, Brad Herder, there was the mechanical change was subtle, but instead of he's coming more of a little higher 3/4 slide, doesn't do that rocking thing. And Baltimore, that's another textbook example of what we were talking about on Thursday, Chris, with Uper, where the Tigers are just, when they get to this level, they're just having time the game prepare better. And that was Herder's start was a textbook example of that.
Yeah, I mean, So yeah, apparently the rocking motion was actually Bachler, the AAA pitching coach, and it was something that I
Doug Bach.
don't think I
Yeah.
picked up on it watching the outings down there. But yeah, I
Me
mean
neither.
that we've haven't really talked about the fact that the Tigers were 1 out away from another combined no hitter, and Brent Herter was just spectacular. Just
No.
what was it? He was perfect up until he walked. Was it Rutschman? I forgot who he walked, but just
Yeah.
ground
So
ball
the
after
Rutschman
ground ball
Henderson.
after ground ball. Just the Orioles couldn't do anything against them, and it's I don't know. It's been a lot of fun because you look at these guys and they're performing almost like better than the I don't know the parts are better than the whole somehow. Like it's really weird, but it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that combo, I guess, of the game planning, and having maybe having an entire team of analysts breaking down. I mean, there's a ton of information going into these game plans now. And it's always that game of cat and mouse. Like you want to pitch to the opponent's weaknesses, but you want to throw what's your strength. How do you balance those without giving in one way or the other? And how do you evolve that game plan over 3 at bats? All that stuff. The Tigers just seem better than that probably everyone. And I think, that was Chris Fetter's reputation, with U of M was not that he necessarily was going to teach you some genius pitch that you'd never seen or, turn you into, a 98 mile per hour throwing monster, but he was going to just sequence the living crap out of the other team and never throw them the cookie. Like he was always going to be in their head. So he's definitely brought that here. Even when guys start pitching that well, we just don't seem to get hit that hard. And I mean, maybe some of this has to do with the ball being a little less juicy this year, that we just don't seem to be seeing the big mistake as often, except when Shelby Miller's on the mound, as we have in years past. But yeah, we might
well, you know what?
But,
I was going to
got
ask
Jake
you,
Rogers back there. Good framing, the whole thing.
I was going to ask you then, and because Stano makes this good point here. Does the panel think might as well focus on his splitter and forget his sliders tomorrow? He should forget his slider because slider's been terrible. But that splitter's been nasty.
Yeah, I mean,
the one that again swings and misses on it.
Yeah, he needs something like a slider or a cutter, but except for that brief stretch in 2021, it's just never been good. It wasn't good in college. He doesn't spin it. There's ways to throw a good slider without a high spin rate. He hasn't really shown the ability to figure that out yet. Some kind of seam shifted slider would seem to be in the works. The gyro ball, something, but the slider's been just terrible in most starts this year, and it's frustrating because you're just dump the knuckle curve in there once in a while, and otherwise just throw fastball splitter because I don't know what else to do right now. And I would love to see them kind of not. I would love to see them to stop treating Casey Mize like he's done things and should be able to go 90 95 pitches every time out. Use him however you want. He's just a guy right now. I'm sorry. Just a dude. So if you're scared to have him come up against the top of the order the second time through, get him out of there. I don't mind. This has been working great. It's hard to criticize anything AJ Hinch and Chris Fetter do right now, which is kind of a weird position to be in. That's kind of our bread and butter there. But yeah, it's tough right now. I mean, the run they've been on is just incredible.
Up to and including continuing to play Zach McKinstry when everybody wanted him gone. And look what's going on with Zach McKinstry these days.
Yep.
So
yeah,
beat it out there. Yeah. Oh, all right. They dropped it. That's what I need to see. That's what that White Sox making a weird mistake for no reason. Energy we need.
But yeah, interesting. Samuel McLean in here. I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah, I did. About him, I was just gonna say. Yeah. Look, AJ Hinch should deserve. You know what? He doesn't deserve Manager of the Year. He deserves a Nobel Peace Prize because what he's doing right here is revolutionary. No. Think about this for a second. Look at this lineup up and down with the injuries they've had in the pitching in the pitching depth. Okay, if he can do this with this kind of lineup, he's solving world peace right here because he's giving peace of mind, giving peace of mind to the Tiger fans. But no, seriously, it is absolutely positively remarkable right now that the Tigers are here. They are, and even with Seattle all of a sudden going, oh yeah, we got all this offense, we should do it, we should use it. It's since the beginning of September they've been like crazy. AJ Hinch deserves if I had a manager of the year vote, I would vote for him all day long, and not even take away my Detroit bias aside for it.
Yeah, I mean, going through like other fan bases' response to what they've seen the last 2 months, there's a lot of just like, who are these guys? You know, like they know who Tarek Skubal and Riley Greene and Kerry Carpenter are, but it's how are these guys doing this? You know, and then they look at the stats and they're like, how are they doing this? I was over in Camden Chats comments a little bit talking to some of those guys during the series with Baltimore, and they're just like, what the heck is going on? Like Brant Herter has like an ERA over 7. You know, Ty Madden sucks. Kyler Montero sucks. How are they doing this? You know, and I'm loving it. It's delicious. You know, it's like, well, they got to Chris Fetter, and Chris Fetter was like, just poked him in opened their third eye, smacked him around in the chi, sent him out there. Something, some kind of weird magic.
I think, you know, it is I don't think that there's a national. We're starting to see more talk about it. You know, the Tigers have the best record in baseball since August 11th or whatever. They're like one of the best teams in the American League since July 1st. Like that, you're seeing that on MLB Network. But I still think that the you know, the AL Manager of the Year awards probably going to get split between Petraro from Kansas City and Vogt and Cleveland, honestly, because I mean, Cleveland has no business. I keep talking about it. They've got damn near 90 wins.
Yeah,
their offense is not that much better than the Tigers, and their pitching is worse. But they have that incredible lockdown bullpen, and they've got, you know, and then the Royals, of course, are, you know, outpacing their expectations by like 20 wins. So I think it's a national story.
And somehow they get Matt Boyd to get back to prime Matt Boyd. No, seriously, that is remarkable. That the one of the things about Cleveland that I really appreciate is is Jose Ramirez. Like look, if there's one guy that I wanted on this team, like one of my favorite players that's not a Detroit Tiger is Jose Ramirez. The guy, 35 home runs.
Dog.
Yeah, absolute dog. Just goes out there. He's going to have he's going to finish about probably 170 hits for the season. But just and then guys like Josh Naylor. Like you don't think of like Josh Naylor as a household name, but there he is. But guys have a 30 home run season, driven in 100 RBIs. But then you guys, and it's just guys like Stephen Kwan, these like players that just annoy the hell out of you as an opposing player. But the rest of that, but then you know, you look at right field, it's like Will Brennan. Who the hell's Will Brennan? I don't know who Will Brennan is, but that's who who their right fielder is right there. But Shawnee wants to know what obvious right-handed power bat you guys would like to have this offseason. Off the top of your head.
Oh, let me just finish. Well, all right, go ahead. Go ahead with that.
The other day I was talking about Eugenio Suarez as you know, like it felt like a couple of years ago, like his career was over. He was hitting barely 200, but you look up and he's got 25, 30 home runs each of the last 4 seasons. It's like a 115, 125 WRC plus, plays third base at an acceptable level, right-handed bat, still only 33, 34. Like it's not like, I don't think you'd give him a 5-year contract or something like that, but I think you can go out and get him for 2-3 years for a decent amount of money. And I don't know. I mean, maybe he's just benefiting from playing in Arizona. Like I said, I haven't really dug into it, but that's a name you don't hear a ton, and he would play a position of need. And I don't know. I think that might be fun.
Yeah. I mean, if we're just dreaming, like Pete Alonso would be fun.
Oh.
Christian Walker would be fun. But I just keep thinking of it in terms of, like maximum return. And that to me, like continues to point to shortstop. Like Willy Adames over what we've got at shortstop is better than, like a 6-WAR player at third base, because we could probably piece together 2 or 3 WAR there.
And
so I'm kind of thinking about it that way, but yeah, and then Sweeney's your McKinstry, or maybe McKinstry's still your McKinstry. I don't know. Maybe we have 2 McKinstrys. We have backup McKinstrys. But so I just wanted to finish that manager thing. Like AJ would have to get in the wild card, obviously, because it all comes down to that kind of thing. And shout out to Stephen Vogt, because taking over for Terry Francona had to, that's some big shoes to fill. And for them to not miss a beat like this and just be weirdly winning all these games is quite aggravating.
And he's a rookie manager too. He's never managed before, right?
Yeah, I don't think he had any experience at all.
No, he was sitting on a farm somewhere when he found out he got the job. So apparently,
yeah.
So what? MacArthur got hurt here. They're replacing him in an 0-3 count. with Angel Zerpa, a left-handed reliever.
Oh,
to
Zerpa
face
coming in.
Jake Rogers.
All right.
Yeah.
As far as right-handed power bats go, I mean, there's, of course, I mean, I know that everybody talk about, or as far as like who would be a few, like does Alex Bregman, he's right-handed, right? Yeah. Of course, Alex Bregman is the go-to.
Not a power bat though.
No, it's not a power bat. No, but it's a bat that would look well in a Tiger uniform. He's got 23 home runs. He would lead the team in home runs with that. So there you go.
Really good defender too. He does everything.
Yeah. So you can go with that. As far as like realistic options go for right-handed bat, I just feel like the Tigers, again, I'm probably gonna be wrong about this, but maybe another guy, Willie Adames.
Yeah, that's what I want. That makes that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah,
but you have to get rid of Javi,
for Flagrero.
Right?
I think the Tigers should make a trade. That's why the Tigers should make a trade. That's where they're going. If they're going to address a right-handed power, it's going to be via trade. If they're not going to,
I still want to go after Bo Bichette and hassle them and to see if there's some way we can get Bo Bichette without giving up Max Clark.
I don't like Bregman's face.
Bregman's a dog, though. I do kind of worry about the power decline. There's no Crawford boxes to pull everything into, although, it's not that much further at Comerica Park, particularly. But he seems like the type of dude who's going to always put up good on base percentages and hit. But he might be more of like a 10, 15 home run guy in another year or two. I mean, it depends what he costs, and he's not going to get the mega deal because he's already, I think he's 31 almost. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but he's close. So he's not going to get like the 10-year, $300 million deal, certainly, but he's probably going to cost, I don't know, 6 years, 180.
So
maybe you can get that from somebody.
Bregman turns 31 in March. So yeah, that's and I like Stan's you go unrestricted free agent whose contract goes beyond 33 year of age. That's where
it has to be that rare player, that you're willing to bank on, like Justin Verlander level stuff. Like this person's a freak, and they're just going to keep doing this.
So I'm looking at all the home runs over the last 4 seasons. So Pete Alonso has the fourth most in baseball at 155. So close to 40 a year, basically. Then you've got Santander at 120 over the last 4 seasons, so 30 a year, although most this year. Suarez 112. Adames 112. Let's see. Christian Walker 104. So, there are a handful of free agents out there that have consistently hit 25 plus home runs over the last 4 years. So just go sign them all. Yeah,
Willie's probably going to get paid. He's probably the guy who's going to, like the Dodgers or somebody are just going to come throw a bunch of money at him and take him. But so I'm not getting too excited about that. But I would like to have him very much. Yeah, whereas Hassan Kim's kind of had a weirder year, and I don't know how. I'm less convinced that you really want to bet on him longer term.
Yeah, he's hurt right now. Shoulders hurt.
I was feel like he's a little banged up injuries. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, and he's just not a power guy at all, right? Like he will hit home runs because he pulls the ball, but he's mostly just like a do everything else, get on base, walk type of guy, and so he'd be a nice complementary piece. But it's like I don't think he's
like Mark Canha who can play a good shortstop. Yeah, yeah.
So
I guess he can run, but yeah.
Headed to the bottom of the 7th here, Tigers up 7-6 here.
It would have been nice to cash in a few more of these runners on base. The Tigers are 4 for 12 with runners in scoring position and have left 9 men on base today. But just got to get 9 outs without allowing a run against the stupid pesky Royals.
And we'll stay on air the entire time. I know Thursday was funny. It was Thursday show you guys did, or no, it was last Thursday. I remember you guys streamed it live because it was on the West Coast or something, and then it was Parker Meadows that came through that home run, and everybody's like, "Oh, how come you guys didn't stay on?" It was past 12 o'clock when it happened.
Yeah, I think we turned it off at like 7, or I guess not 7, but like the 7th inning. But
something like that.
I mean, we can. I don't know if we want to weasel through the minors at all while we're doing it, or we want to just
We
stick
can
here.
lose it to the minors because there is a lot going on with Erie starting the playoffs tomorrow. They start their defense of the Eastern League title against Akron, so we'll get to that. We'll start with Toledo, of course, and then Lakeland tomorrow. So, by the way, just a programming note that tomorrow we will be streaming game 2 of Lakeland versus Palm Beach and a little bit of the Erie game. So we'll be doing a similar setup, except we can watch the game. You can watch the game with us because we can have the game on because there's no rules against that. So if you want to watch the game along with us, there'll be a game watch along starting at 6:30 for Lakeland. Has one win away from winning their fourth, or it would be their fifth Florida State League title, the first since 2012, when Larry Hendon was the hitting coach for the Flying Tigers. Probably a fun fact there for you. And so this is a chance for them. They won in a very entertaining game. Chris and I were watching that back and forth last night. It was, I think, 6 different league changes against a very good Palm Beach team.
That Palm Beach team is relentless. They have JJ Weatherholt, considered one of the top prospects in the draft, and they don't chase a lot. They work long at bats. They came back from a 5-1 deficit, and they did it relatively quickly and easily, it seemed like.
Yeah.
And then Lakeland kept fighting back themselves, and it was a super exciting game. We talked about it on the phone, like 2 really spectacular at bats from Yerber Mantilla and then Jackson Strong that ended up leading to tying the game and then winning the game.
Yep, it's going to be a Roger Dean
pinch hit mode. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
In Jupiter.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Nice to see Josue Brasino playing well again.
Yeah.
Starting to find his groove now that he's back a little bit. And Micah Ashman, future closer apparently.
Yeah, I mean he's pitched in all 3 of their playoff games so far. But
yeah, Gabriel Reyes and Rainer Castillo had a big clutch 2 back-to-back starts against Clearwater to win the West. So that's good to see right there.
And folks, go to Tigers Minor League Report YouTube channel and watch those starts. Because the fact that you guys are cutting those starts up is absolute gold. Gabriel Reyes, Rainer Castillo, these are 2 of the best names that you're going to see in the lower minors in the Tigers system. These are both guys who could end up being really good. So go check those starts out now. Familiarize yourself, because we're going to be talking about those guys a lot next year, and they're going to be moving up the rankings probably.
I think Reyes has a good reliever profile. Definitely you can see him being a guy that, like, it just seems like he's, we've talked about lefty Soto's like Gregory Soto, but I was thinking about like international arms, but I think he's better. He's got better control than Soto did.
Significantly better control. Yes. Yeah. That's not the stuff.
I mean, I think
Soto, but
Reyes is kind of a rhythm pitcher, and that gives me reliever vibes a little bit too. But if he starts throwing 96 regularly and improves his changeup a little bit, he could definitely be a starter. Castillo has a little bit more of the prototypical big, easy 95, good breaking ball, kind of build, but his slider or his changeup's pretty blunt at this point. Still like 89, 90 for the most part. Like not much separation, but he's just getting started. He's just a kid, just a youngin'.
So Chris,
what are we doing here? Okay. Will Vest for what? Pham and Witt and Perez here. This might be the ball game.
Yeah,
maybe not.
That's a heck of a job by Hannafy. 2 1/3, gave up 3 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts. But that's probably the longest he's pitched for the Tigers so far this year.
Yeah,
Chris, you want to bring up
he really didn't have a very good first half either. He wasn't looking like he was going to be this good an option. And once again, we were mad at the bullpen the whole first half, and then all of a sudden they just all figured it out.
See here,
I got you, Rod.
You got the slides. Okay,
yep.
Go ahead and bring that up. All right. Yeah, for whatever reason, they're coming up on my end. We'll breeze through that so that way we can go through, watch the rest of the 3D vision there. Thank you, Chris. On that note,
do we need to talk about? We don't need to talk about Toledo very much.
No, there's not much to say about Toledo at all.
But we did get Jackson Jobe's first AAA start. That's the main event there, right? And he looked. I don't know. Like again, it's you see the flashes of all the pitches, right? And then just it doesn't all fit together perfectly yet. It's I think it will eventually, but yeah, it was leaving too many pitches over the heart of the plate, missing the outside of the zone by half a ball here, half a ball there, and then getting in bad counts, and then getting hit hard, which is I think you said on Twitter is what he needs.
Getting into good counts. Yeah, he does. He needs to get beat up a little bit. But that home run, 0-2 count. What does he come back with? Fastball right down the middle, belt high. And it gets nuked by Devin Williams. So it's those kind of things where it's like, look, you've got a good hitter down, a solid hitter for that level. 0-2, you've got to throw something around the edges. You can't just pump something down the middle there. And I just thought the stuff overall looked kind of wonky. There's a lot for him to get used to. I don't know how different the ball is. I don't know necessarily like what how different the feel is. And they did give him probably like enough time to throw 2 bullpens there before the start. There was like an 8-day layoff for him, something like that, 7 or 8 days. So, but yeah, overall it didn't look real sharp, but it didn't make me feel any sort of way about Jackson Jobe or anything. Just that I wish they would have started doing this in July, but or in August. But that's okay. It's gonna take a little bit of an adjustment. And Steven Scott's not he's fine, but he's not a particularly good catcher back there in my estimation. And there's a lot of like you could just see them just like pounding where that a certain hitter is weak over and over again. Like we're gonna go down and away over and over again with every pitch you have, rather than like working it around. So. Come on, Will Vest.
Get it. Tommy Pham was a single, and he's taking on the newest Tiger Killer of all time.
Tommy Pham's eyes were going bad like a decade ago. How is he still this good?
He's been on 3 different teams, though, to be fair. I mean, this is his 3rd team this year.
Well, they were handling pretty easily earlier. I was like,
he's kind of at the end, I know, but.
Well, I have faith in Will Vest. We've seen him, carve up Judge and Soto. He can get Bobby Witt out.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Bobby Witt's
Bobby Witt's very, very good. Obviously, he's incredible. He's an MVP candidate, might be the MVP, but Will Vest has been pretty good. He was your good last week, Raj. Have faith in your man.
Yeah. See my vest. Yeah.
Whew. That was close.
I would say Bobby Witt
he just about pulled that thing right down the line for a triple.
Yeah, when I saw it in 3D, I'm like, oh no, I thought it was hugging the line.
Yep.
Did Eddie Slander hit 3 home runs last week?
Pardon me?
Oh, Eddie Slander hit 3 home runs last week?
Oh no.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Wait,
no?
Did he? No.
It looks
he was having a pretty good he had a pretty good week as far as I was paying attention to. Yeah. Finally started to swing the bat here at the end of the year.
I might have missed that one, Chris.
It looks like he's got 3 in September.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So no, it's fine. Yeah, I felt like I was like, oh man, I missed that. So
what just happened? They got it. Fly ball,
and play outs.
Yes. Okay.
I find your lack of faith in Vest disturbing. But yeah, he's got it. He's still got to get another out, and
he's got another one. He's got another Tiger Killer, Perez.
Oh yeah, decent throw from Veerling held him.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think you're right. Basically, Toledo is just kind of going through the motions right now. This is you want to see the most depressing place on earth? It's a AAA locker room right now.
Everybody just wants to go home. They're trying their damnedest not to tip off the pitches and give the games away.
Just like the Twins catcher, I was just gonna say.
yeah. I just had to reference that. I know we'll get to it with Lakeland, but holy smoke, what a bizarre story that was.
Oh, Sarah, he's living his best life. Get out of here!
No,
just cackle in the other room.
That's good. I'll take it. So we think we're good here with Toledo.
Yeah, we're good with Toledo. Let's move on.
All right, let's move it on to Erie. We got some fun stuff going on in Erie.
Graham, baby.
Yeah, they brought up Peyton Graham, which is kind of wild. They brought up Josh Crouch. I think they're just trying to get Peyton Graham more ABs, really, right? Like it's just like whatever, whoever's playing. Yeah. And
and then give Gabe Alvarez some options so he can pinch hit, maybe and still have a shortstop and another catcher, that kind of thing. Just bulking up the roster for the postseason.
Wilkiel Hernandez,
but it is kind of funny because Peyton Graham's been all over the place.
Wilkiel Hernandez got sent to a development camp.
Yeah, so did Jake
Danny
Miller.
Soretti as well.
Yeah.
Jake Miller went out there and had an awesome Double-A debut. Took him like
Will
60
Vest.
pitches, and Will Vest
Hammer.
got out of it. And
Let's go, buddy.
but I think with Will
Ever
Kell
since he's-
and with
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. You're talking
No,
things that people
Nope.
care about right
keep
now.
going.
No, nobody cares about Will Kell Hernandez. Talk about Will Vest. Getting that out.
Oh, I was just gonna say every time you just need every time since he slid down that that slide, the cardboard slide at the Little League World Series, he's been lights out, and I don't understand. I don't know. So that was all I had for you. But yes, please continue.
Yeah. Excuse me. No, with Will Kell, I think they're basically, you don't need a 5-man rotation for these 3-game playoff series, and they probably want to get as many bullpen arms as they can. So I think they're, I don't know for sure, but it looks like their playoff rotation is going to be Burhan, Pena, and Austin Bergner.
So Bergner's starting game 1, Pena's
Mhm.
game 2, and if game 3 happens, it's going to be Burhan.
So, yeah. So,
Oh, yeah.
Will Kell, I mean, maybe you'd want him for long relief, but you don't want long relief in the playoffs.
Yeah.
If things go
Yeah.
south, you just do what you got to do. But, yeah, so he had a solid year. He really ate a lot of innings for him. I still don't think there's a whole lot there, but good for him. And then, yeah, they had some, they did their not wacky, but they're not playing for anything. So their final game of the year was that bullpen game, and then it went to extras, and that's when Austin Murr had the great
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani game. And I don't
Yep.
know if
One of the best stat lines you'll
I have
see.
it. Yeah, I have that. I have the highlight because I think it's worth showing because it's every day.
Yeah, how it played out was crazy
guy
too,
who-
because all of a sudden you
Yeah.
got a left fielder pitching. He's a left-hander, and then the first thing that happens with the runner on second in extras, play the clip. Right?
I'm
Yeah, he cuts
I'm
down.
very
Close.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Oops, that's not what I want to do either. Damn it. Hi. Let's see here. What am I doing?
Let me
Okay,
paint the
that's what-
picture. It's a humid night in.
Yeah, it's a human
Yeah,
night in
Gage
Erie.
Workman.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was Enrique Bradfield Jr. is on second, and Workman does the spin move like on the mound and picks him off. And
All
he breaks for third. It's crazy.
All right, let's see here.
So, yeah,
Austin Murr doesn't pitch.
So Murr tied the game in the 5th inning with a single.
Comes Murr, and he will score to win the game.
Yeah.
First pitch taken, a called strike by Willem. Deals, runner goes, pitch in for a strike.
Looks like me
0-2.
pitching when I was in elementary
Hit in
school.
the air, right field.
Yeah,
It's
Willem's,
deep, it's hooking, and it is foul. 0-2. Hit in the on a line to center field. That's a hit. Hodo comes around. He'll score. It's 4-3 Bowie. He on second base. First pitch to Silas Ardoin. Misses up. 10th inning. It's a 4-3 ball game. Pitch, ground ball, shortstop.
So, yeah, he's out there throwing 45, 55 miles an hour.
First
Yeah.
side retired.
Yeah. He picks off the runner on second, then eventually gives up the run anyway, and then
Jr. a long
in the
run.
bottom
He will
of the
not
10th.
get it. It bounces in and goes to the wall. Lee comes around to score from second. Murr's not stopping at second. Headed to third. See if he can beat the throw, and he does. The ball got away, and here comes Murr, and he will score to win the game.
So in one weekend, by the way, Greg Gagnon
Austin
calls
Murr,
this game
an RBI
and the one-hitter.
triple, and he scores on an error,
Oh, yeah.
and the Seawolves walk it off.
Yeah. Crazy,
he got the
crazy
win
stuff.
and he got the walk-off hit.
Walk-off hit. Yeah, that can't have happened too many times in baseball. And yeah, it's a great call by Greg. Unfortunately, that was one of those things where, like, I'm sure there was like another 10, 20 seconds of the call, but the MILB just immediately cuts to the logo, and so it got cut off. But yeah, no, it's a fun game, and yeah, Murr has been a huge boon for them.
Yeah, it's been a fun season. That's a fun team to watch, and yeah, it's just kind of interesting to see Murr come up there and like have a little bit of success. Max Anderson here at the end of the year, after really just kind of floundering most of the year, suddenly like started to swing a little bit better of a bat. And yeah, we talked about it. They lost Jobe, they lost Troy Melton, they lost Howie Lee, and Gage Workman is just kind of emerged and is just having a pretty monstrous second half. Still can't hit lefties worth a damn, but against right-handers, he's a very, very dangerous man right now and playing a lot of shortstop and doing a lot of damage. It seems like every time I go to write up a game, if I wasn't paying attention to it, this is Gage Workman day. again. So yeah, that's been good to see, because he was kind of on the fringes of getting shoved off a prospect list, and I think he's legitimately turned himself into a pretty decent super utility candidate again. Maybe we'll see. Have to see if he can handle AAA and move on.
Yeah,
Want to put
Eastern
that back
League
up
MVP.
here?
I was gonna say Eastern League
Yeah.
MVP. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, there's a strong chance he's going to win the MVP. You know, Sam Lebowitz tweeted out like all the things he leads the league in, and it's a lot. So yeah, I mean, 140 WRC plus is nothing to sneeze at, and
yeah.
And then my boy Peyton Grant came up and had a good game or two. You know, like, I love it.
Well, that was the most unexpected call up probably of the season right there.
Yeah.
Peyton Graham going to AA after all that he's gone through. I mean, you have to wonder, a lot of it has to do with his health too. I know he's had some problem with his wrists. I think it was his wrist.
And then the
things,
fractured.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he had the fractured fingers. Last year he had the obliques torn up a couple different times. He's just a skinny little rail. You got to bulk this kid up.
Get some in and out.
Strap on some. He needs the arepas and a lot of crunches.
Yeah.
there you go.
And deadlifts.
But it'll be I don't know. So they're at Akron tomorrow, right? Akron's a very tough team, and then for back home to Erie for 1 or 2, and then I didn't even look to see who's making the playoffs in the other division. Is it Portland?
Yeah, Portland's
got to be right.
Yeah.
So we'll cross that road when we get there. But another great year for Erie, whether they make it through the playoffs or not, and if they do, again, Gabe Alvarez continues to push the right buttons with a team that, as Brandon said, lost just about everybody this year. You know, so good to see that. And
do you think Gabe Alvarez do you think this matters to the Tigers? Like, does Gabe Alvarez kind of have a little bit of, like, you know, he can kind of pick his assignment now, that kind of a thing? Do you think they care about that sort of thing, like grooming him as a future major league coach, or, you know, it's really hard to tell if any of that matters to them at this point, because AJ Hinch is kind of running the Tigers. You know, I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think Chris Fetter is going anywhere. I don't think Robin Lund is going anywhere. There isn't really like an opportunity for promotion unless you're going to be the first base coach, you know, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which probably pays better. Yeah. I don't know. Less stress.
I would think, you know, we've seen Alvarez, you know, Hinch has called him up to do some stuff in spring training, right? You know, to coach a little bit at third, or it wouldn't shock me if somebody from the coaching staff does move on, like a Lombard or something like that, if Alvarez is then the guy that they bring up to the big leagues to get some of that, you know, bench coach experience and just, you know, doing this in the big leagues, and then who knows? But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how the organizations evaluate their own managers.
Well, it's the kind of thing that, like, no one thinks or talks about, because there's just no way to know. There's really no way to know anything, and it's probably not an important topic because we don't usually see any of those. You know, there's not many Jim Lelands left around who are gonna, you know, work their way through the minors as a manager and become a major league manager anymore. As Stephen Vogt is a good example of how things are going.
So Grady Sizemore. I threw up, you know, the Whitecaps the day after the season ended. They posted this picture of people watching can see that they completely bulldozed the infield. The outfield walls are down, the stand, like everything out there. They're getting right to it. They're putting in a new playing surface. They're putting up new walls, new dimensions. That should all be there next year. So that's what's going on in West Michigan right now. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to get out there and check that out next year. Yeah,
look at right field. Imagine it looked like. It was when I saw it earlier, I was just like, wait, what's going on? And then I realized, like, I just got the press release earlier, what they're doing out there. So they're already the last day of the season, they were already starting to tear things down.
Yeah. And we can
Brisky here scares me, guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
are they going to build? Are they going to make that look like? Are they kind of going to do like a Comerica replica there? Is it going to have kind of like a triples alley in right field at UPMC?
You know, I haven't really looked at the dimensions since they announced that first. You know, they did that like YouTube video of all the changes that were coming. So I know it's supposed to be smaller, which is big because
which makes sense because definitely a pitcher's part. Yeah, this is going to be sketchy down here at the ending. Bo Brisky's been opening. He starts games. He doesn't know how to end this. He's not used to pitching this late at night, you guys.
Yeah, and there are times.
All right, I'm going to run away for the bet.
All right.
As you were saying, Chris.
Brisky just, there are times when he just loses the strike zone a bit too much for me. And we going all the way back to when we saw him the opening day in Toledo, where I think he like walked the bases loaded and then managed to wriggle out of it.
Yeah.
He's got good stuff, right? And he's, if he throws the changeup in the right spot, he might get a double play. But putting the leadoff man on isn't great, and getting down 0-2 to the next guy is not great. So hopefully he can get something out here. But
it looks like sometimes he just opens up too much when like when he throws throwing, tries to get too fine.
And there he gets squeezed on the third ball. So he's got to somehow manage to throw an 0-3 or 3-0 pitch to Hunter Renfroe that doesn't go over the ball.
Yeah,
but
this is a. I'm a little behind. I didn't see this. Let's see this 3-0 pitch here.
And it's a walk. 4-pitch walk.
Dude, he's not giving the outside zone, is he? How the hell is that not a strike?
I don't know, but this is they can bring in Shelby Miller to face Melendez. No, I don't think they can actually, right?
No, because he hasn't faced a minimum 3.
He's a big double play candidate if Brisky, like I said, if Brisky can locate that changeup, but they may, I don't know, are they going to pinch hit with him and try to get small ball here? Anyway, mound visit. So back to Lakeland while they're talking on the mound here. We touched on it earlier. They went out and Castillo and Reyes absolutely shut down Clearwater. It's back-to-back starts, 12 innings total. Only 4 hits between those 12 innings. Each gave up 1 run. Castillo did it the way he does. He doesn't miss a ton of bats, but nobody makes solid contact against him. And then Reyes, I didn't put it in there. He had 10 strikeouts, which was pretty spectacular. And the offense has shown up. Jose De La Cruz has been one of the more consistent hitters for him all year long, and 5 for 10 in these 3 playoff games with a home run and 2 doubles, 5 RBIs. Hit the big 3-run homer to seemingly break open the game against Palm Beach, only for the Cardinals to come storming back. But that was big. Jack Penny had 2 triples in the game, winning in the second game of against Clearwater. He's been finding the gaps pretty regularly. And then Briseño had a triple in that game too. And I think Brandon mentioned that he's seemingly found his swing again, which is nice to see.
Yeah, between Briseño and De La Cruz, man, like that. Talk about that home run, man. Yeah,
he crushed that.
Yeah, just the last month or so, he's just been finding his power. Still striking out quite a bit, but it's just the arm too. That you posted that relay he had.
Mm-hmm.
Was that yesterday?
Yeah. That was he went and it was a single to right, and he had to run a long way, and then he turned around and threw the guy out at second. It was really nice. It's he's been playing well. I touched on it earlier. We talked about it on the phone. Why is Briseño in there twice? Javier Baez didn't do a whole lot in the first 2 games. He was 0 for 8 or 0 for 7, and then he had 3 hits against Palm Beach, including a really great, like a huge triple late in the game. He got down. He was right-handed. He got down 0-2. There's a nice strikeout for Bo Brisky.
That's good clutch there. You know what? I was pulling up. Let's pull up that bat, Chris, because let's talk about that by Framer, because I thought it was one of the best at bats we've seen from him all season, because this looks like a veteran at.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I want to point this out is because what you were talking about, we were just talking about his struggles since he came up to Lakeland, but there's just an advanced approach here at the plate that was just really, really fun to see.
Yeah, I didn't clip to hold it back because it was like 7 or 8 pitches, but yeah.
In the air, right field. That's down.
It's that swing right there, the in and out swing there.
Rounds first
yeah,
base.
and he got down 0-2.
Rounding second, and he's into third.
And watch his reaction here.
He hits off of Gadsdar's face. And Franchero Montilla is the tying run.
I think I talked about it last week. He's a super energetic player. He plays really good defense. Like he's not flawless out there, but he does a lot of stuff that helps you win, even when he's not hitting. And he started hitting, and yeah, I mean that was a beautiful leadoff, or was it 1 out triple, and Valencia brought him home on a 20-foot dribbler tie the game, and it was just a huge
Beautiful
moment
swing.
for one of the youngest kids on the team, and then later in the game, I didn't get Jackson Strong's full at bat either, but that was Andrew Graham pulling an AJ Hinch. David Smith is out there and he pinch hits for him with Jackson Strong, and Jackson Strong another great at bat, and then gets a pitch he can handle and triples to the corner to give him a 7-6 win. Now just one more win away from Florida State League title, which I think they last won in
2012.
And there we go. Ground ball double play. Bo Brisky.
Dustin Melendez. Yeah, and he just dusted Melendez with a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Holy crap.
My God.
Where did this
go?
Let's go. All right.
Keith turning that
Swing
boom.
with the quick hands.
All right.
100
Now all we need is
Bo Brisky. He is amped. That's playoff Bo Brisky right there.
Yeah. Let's go Gadget Brisky. By the way, that's still one of the
wild
best
when
lines.
You see a guy throw like two extra miles per hour than they normally can max out, and you just know that adrenaline is just like
go Gadget fastball there. Sorry,
so we just need so Foley needs to get through Hampson, Isbell, and Pham without putting anybody on base for Bobby Witt.
Yeah, I'm going to walk Bobby Witt. God damn it, AJ Hinch. You intentionally walk Bobby Witt Jr. if it comes to it.
Yeah.
This is my one thing where I just want to take AJ in a headlock every once in a while. Is like, would you just walk the best hitter on their team?
He went to Stanford.
He did it. He did it. Yeah, I know. It's big brain stuff right there and everything. But they don't give intentional walks at Stanford. Everybody knows that. But he did it for like Jose Ramirez, which man, that's probably was.
Last thing,
Cocaine Bear.
Last thing I wanted to say about Lakeland, and Brandon mentioned him earlier, but Micah Ashman has come in and just been like the instant closer, pitched in all 3 games, only gave up 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, picked up 2 saves. I know he's got an invisible, which helps. So I don't know. It'll be fun. It's going to be really tough out there. They got to go win. I think they actually used Andrew Sears, who's been one of their better starters all year. They used him out of the bullpen, and it did not go well. He couldn't throw strikes, which has been an issue for him at times this year. They still have Minton, I think, that they can use, but Castillo could theoretically pitch one of these 2 games too, and so could Reyes. It's been about a week for both of them. So however they want to do it, it'll be interesting to see how they go about it. But it would be nice to see another title in the Tiger system. That's for sure.
Yeah. It would be cool.
It'd be awesome.
And you just see, you can, 10 years ago, I kind of dismissed this sort of thing, but when you see how hyped they are, and now the Tigers actually have like a lot of talented young players, and you see them getting that experience, it's definitely good for them. It's better to win than to lose. I guess we'll just, fairly simple.
Yeah, and I think there's a cultural building to that too, right? Like we touched on it, but the Twins catcher who just wants to get the season over with, like maybe there's some guys in the Tigers organization who feel like that, but they're certainly not playing like it. They've at just about every level they've gone out and gone for it. Like they're really trying hard at the end of the season or the end of the first half to get the playoffs. So
maybe Toledo though. I mean, maybe Toledo.
Well, Toledo. We came into the year thinking that that was going to be one of the best Toledo teams we've seen, and what happened was all those guys ended in Detroit. So like, oh well, what are you going to do? But all right.
Yeah, so 3D is not working at the moment, so we're just going to go back to normal. So 1 out here.
Colt Keith, routine grounder.
Yep. And Spencer Torkelson with a single. Nice.
Get this run in, boys. Would be nice to get that run.
A lot better with 1 more.
Yeah. So like I said, so tomorrow
we know we got to sweep. We got to sweep at least somebody, but just keep winning series, and hopefully we'll sweep the White Sox at the end.
That's all matters.
Step away for 1 second.
All right. So tomorrow we'll be streaming live between Lakeland and Erie in the postseason. Yeah. And here's the thing, Brandon. Look, if they swept the Royals, I mean, that would be tremendous.
Yeah, huge.
But Kansas City's so damn good though, man. Damn,
and just pesky. Like they just don't go away. They aren't one of those teams that's sort of like a front runner with a bunch of good players, where if you take their best players out of the game, they crumble. Like the Orioles kind of feel that way to me a little bit, and sometimes the Yankees do right now too. But yeah, the Royals are just friggin' pesky, just super pesky. And if you don't give them your best effort, Salvador Perez will beat the crap out of you in the clubhouse afterward.
Yeah,
talk about it. An AL Central legend. I mean, I love Jose Ramirez, but there's no player in the AL Central that I respect and love and fear and also hate more than Sal Perez, probably.
Same here. No, same. Salvador Perez is a guy who he's still playing catcher
What a
at
warrior.
his age.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. That's true, like warrior stuff right there. The fact that he's still playing catcher. I mean, and he also wanted to stay in Kansas City too. There's something to be said about that, and it just the respect he has around Kansas City, the fans, everything with him. They love him over there, and I don't blame him. I wish he was a Tiger, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, when they kind of locked him up, it seemed like a terrible move, and he's just gotten better. He's actually gotten better at catching. Like, Salvador Perez's reputation as a catcher has always been better than the reality. But in the last couple of years, he's gotten better behind the plate too. His framing's improved. There was a little segment he did on, I can't remember. I think it was maybe with like DeRosa or something like that. But he was kind of talking about having to learn, to change, to go one knee, reaching out for it and catching up and down more so than when he came into the league. It was like, you want to like let the pitch come to you and like suck it into you. And that was just kind of interesting to hear him kind of describe the evolution of it. Zach McKinstry won't stop. Oh, geez, Torque, get back.
Whoa. Oh, jackass.
Did we get a Dorkelson moment?
He slid. We did. He slipped, blew a tire. Oh, no.
Spencer Dorkelson.
At that point, you probably should have just gone. Let McKinstry get to second. Oh, well.
Was it like was it a late stop sign or something? I suppose I could turn the game on.
He turned really hard, and I couldn't really tell if the stop sign was up by the time he got to third base. So he basically slid right into Joey Cora's feet, and had to scramble back.
So Cora pointed like
right.
stop. I think Did he wave him through?
He got waved through and he slipped.
That's all right. Jace Young is going to draw a walk after fouling off like 10 pitches, and then we'll see what happens. Have I seen Jace Young hit a ball hard yet? It seems like his on base percentage is probably 320, but he hasn't squared up anything.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about him against a guy throwing 98, 99.
No, me neither. Like he might as well just kind of get the bat started early and try to just put something in play, I guess. But maybe he'll draw a walk. Come on, Jace.
Oh no, it looked like Torque did not get the wave through.
Yeah, I think he just took the turn hard because it didn't look like Cora was giving him a sign either way. I think he's kind of caught between.
Nice little single would be nice here too. Oh, he goes from 84 to 100. That's just wrong.
Yep.
Old DK says Cora had the stop sign up. Okay.
Okay, so
I'll that.
Okay. All right.
Looking at too many things at once here. Late.
Late.
Knuckle curve. He struck out.
Chase Young in the Lake Show.
Hitters hit.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
Yeah.
But fully time.
I do remember Kelvin Herrera.
Yeah, God, that guy was such a pest.
That bullpen was insane.
Yeah. Come on. Like you had Holland, you had Wade Davis, you had Herrera, you had Tim Collins at times. You had, that was one of the and that was, a really interesting way to build a championship team, and it worked. And we haven't seen, I think, anything like it since. Just a team built on speed, defense, not a ton of power, and a great bullpen. They didn't have many good starters either until they traded for Cueto.
Yeah. Yep. It was pretty much. Oh God. I mean, obviously there was Jordan, but who's the other guy the veteran that they got? I can't even remember. But yeah, it was like basically they had 3 of the 5 best relievers in baseball, like lined up 7th, 8th, and 9th, and those games ended early.
Yep.
Jordan Ventura. I love that kid. What a spicy little man he was.
Remember how the Royals traded Brendan Finnegan, and then I ended up seeing him like in all I've seen him was in the Reds farm system forever. Remember, he was
Yeah.
he came up with a World Series, and it was like, he came up after he got drafted, and then he got traded to Cincinnati, and then nothing.
Yeah, I mean they traded John Lamb in that too. I think it was Finnegan is kind of just a footnote. It was a guy who played in the College World Series and the actual World Series in the same year, and that's about it. But this is neither here nor there. But somebody did ask earlier about who's been catching in Lakeland. Because
I answered the question. Valencia.
Oh, did you? I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Valencia and Archer Brookman a little bit. Yeah, Briseño hasn't been catching since he came back, and I kind of think that they're done with him catching. I think that Lorenzo is a better defender than Briseño is, and if you're going to have both those guys around the same level, then I mean, maybe they'll put him back there next year, but
they might just be protecting the knee. But I 100% agree that Lorenzo. You look at the physical skills. He's much more likely to work out as a catcher than Briseño is. Briseño is pretty much a first baseman. Yeah,
I would agree with you, Tyler. This is
those two can hit. Like that's two really good bats right there, though, coming eventually. And if they can kind of fast track them a little bit, you might see that in 2026. I just keep feeling like next year is the year that they should spend, because 2026 you're going to start seeing Briseño, Lorenzo, Max Clark, Kevin McGonigal. Those guys are going to be there by then. You're going to have that. So we just get the dang bat this offseason, Scott.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think Campos is around the corner too. I really think Robbie Campos is getting there too. So
Campos and Workman could both be, helpful, like pieces of some sort. Yeah, I don't know. Campos has a lot more time, obviously, and I like him too.
Yeah. All right. Robbie Grossman does us a favor and flies out to center field. 1 out.
Thanks, Robbie.
Yeah. Thank you, Robbie Grossman. Thank you for your service. I know Chris McCoskey's going to thank you as well. Yeah.
The original.
And good on Foley. Good on Foley for throwing strikes, right? You don't want to
noted Chris
around Grossman.
Noted Chris Brown impersonated Robbie Grossman.
Is that because he's a gross man? Is that my
the beard? I think it's the beard.
Yeah, there is a little bit. There's a little bit.
I can see that. You squint your eyes like that, Chris.
I also had a 2020 season out of nowhere. But I agree with you, Brandon, that get the vets now, let these young guys kind of filter up and do it naturally. Like, I don't know, we've seen some of it this year with a lot of these young guys, but I think when they've put so many up at the same time, there's a little less pressure on someone like Jace. Like if Young had come up as the only rookie and was doing this, everybody like, it's time to go. But
he's got Sweeney and Keith and everybody around him. Yeah, for sure.
Just don't make this decision that Sweeney's going to be your shortstop either. You know what I mean? Like, I think you still have to look at the market.
For sure.
So, shortstops are tough to come by.
But I mean, but if they're going to spend any money, like now is the time. And then that way they don't have to, I know Scott's going to hoard his prospects. Oh, nice play, Colt. So they can keep everybody. If they go sign a starting pitcher, add a little bit of relief help and go get one good bat in the infield, a right-handed bat at first base, preferably shortstop, preferably Willy Adames to me. I'm okay with that. Like, they don't have to go all in, and I appreciate, the kind of like steady build, and that we're going to, try to be consistent about this thing and not just like blow through all the payroll possible and, be stuck with a bunch of old players in a couple years. But it's kind of go time because they've got a lot coming. And, and if they have to trade Franyerber Montilla or even Bryce Rayner, to get a really good player right now, I could live with it. But I'd rather just spend the money, try to lock up Riley Greene to an extension, try to, talk to Tarek Skubal. I don't know. Doesn't seem super likely, but, can check.
Yeah, that's what you do. It's just so you look at, if you have to make that trade to do it, go for it. I mean, and Tyler O'Neill too, something I know there was, somebody asked on Twitter about Tyler O'Neill too. We did get a question on Twitter, Chris. We'll answer that question.
Oh, that's right.
We'll answer that question after the game is done here.
Or just get Anthony Santander, work with him at first base some in case Torque struggles, which you probably will. I mean, that's not a bad solution either. And then, maybe you kind of do all right, let's see what we need in July kind of a thing again. This team has got to be better in May and June, though. May and June is killing them every year.
Yeah.
It was so easy to predict again this year that they would finish strong. You know, they get out to a hot start, and then if they can survive the middle of the season when injuries start to take place, you know, they've got a lot of young talent and they'll finish strong. And it all came to fruition, but you know, a couple losses too many in May and June again. Put Riley and Carey on some kind of like special like program to keep them healthy in those months.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's where the Tigers should be getting the money to spend, is to add depth. And yes, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Fuck yeah, fuck yeah.
Damn, you're ahead of me.
Sorry. I think that is probably their second biggest comeback this year. I think comeback win.
Yes.
I think. Nice.
All right.
I did not mean to swear like that. Sorry. There we go. 1.5 back.
Good win. Really good.
That's what I'm talking about.
Heck yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, that's delicious.
Woo!
The Twins are hearing the Jaws music.
Big. Yeah.
Demonetized.
Crazy son of a bitch, you did.
There it is. Gold.
Sorry,
Bloom.
Tyler. Sorry, Tyler. I gotta.
Oh, my dog is howling at the train right now.
Ooh.
Good timing.
Yeah.
Probably can't hear it, but
there we go.
that's boy, that's a heck of a comeback win.
Yeah.
And Winsel Perez, good. And how about the
Clutching.
bullpen?
Yeah.
How about that bullpen? What do we have here? We've got just looking at it. So Gunther and Hannafy both gave up a run, but Vest, Brisky, and Foley, get 8 outs, no runs.
Yeah,
that's nice.
I'm not bothered, but YouTube might be. Nah, YouTube. There's people on YouTube. Like, unless I bleep it, YouTube can be fine.
So you got 2 chances to win this series now. Who's pitching tomorrow? Mize and Reagans here. And then you got Scooble.
Can we get Herder in there with Mize? Yeah, that's a big one.
Scooble and Marsh on Wednesday. You never know until they play the game, right? But
where's Dan Hasty?
Huge win.
Yeah, huge win. I gotta play Hasty.
Exquisite.
Very exquisite.
Yeah.
Exquisite.
Off the Frickers building.
Oh, there we go. So,
man, good win.
Tigers win 7-6. They're now 1.5 back of the Minnesota Twins as the Twins pulling a mama cast.
They're feeling the heat. They feel some big cats behind them.
Yeah.
Running them down.
Yep. 78 and 73 for the Tigers. Or 77 and 7. No, it's 78. 77? I don't know what it is.
78. No, 78. Yep.
Not too shabby. Well, this is getting fun.
11 games left. Can we get to 89? I'll take 87 though.
Why not?
I just keep thinking 87. That tiebreaker with the Twins is a problem. We need 87. Need the Twins to kind of throw up all over themselves a little bit, which they seem to be doing to a decent degree.
Yeah, and let's see, Samuel said big homer from Colt Keith. Yeah, you know what? I'm looking.
Yeah.
Parker Meadows did score a run, got a couple of hits, and Greene got on base twice. But this is, the guys who've been pushing it didn't do it today. It was everybody else. Winsel, Vierling, 3-hit game. Torkelson, 2 hits. McKinstry, 2 hits. 14-hit effort for the Tigers tonight. Not too bad. Going up against maybe the second or third. Seth Lugo is going to finish second or third in the Cy Young probably.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Winning that game is pretty big. So, yeah, get off a good start on the road. Needed that one. We all know how this goes. Like, there's that, I'm sure that's different for the players, but for us, for the fans and everybody, at least, it's like, you've got to win the first game. If we'd lost that game, everybody would have been losing their mind. It's over, including me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean,
you got me excited. You got me swearing on camera, guys. That's what this game did to me today. It got me fired up.
That's the beauty of sports. I know.
Yeah.
A changed young man like yourself, giving way to the
me swearing,
spirits and emotion.
Me getting emotional about something? What?
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Not
man. It feels
fake,
good to be
not looking at
emotional about
camera,
the Tigers again.
All right.
I have not been, I felt like I've been like ice cold about the Tigers for like 10 years, just sitting here, like with my arms crossed, like just studying.
Brandon, I've been cynical. Like I told
can't
Stan,
can't care too much. Here we go.
No, I was like, I told Stan, I'm like, I don't think this team's making the playoffs. I was cynical about the team. I've been cynical. I've been like just pessimistic because the Tigers have just, it's just one of those things where you look at the facts, you look at things, and then just little things like this happen. And then Winslow Perez just goes and says, you know what, screw you. I'm going to go ahead and hit a double to the left field corner. Then I'm going to go to third on a wild, like these little things that are happening. The Tigers never had these kind of clutch moments. Look, and Jobe TV is correct. Even if they don't make the playoffs, this game, it's a great stepping stone. And we've all been hurt too much. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you. This was a fantastic live broadcast, and this is exactly the kind of thing we want to do going forward during potential playoffs. So tomorrow we're going to be doing this.
That's right.
Postseason. So we're going to be doing the minor league postseason tomorrow with Lakeland and Palm Beach, and then we'll be tuning in with Erie. You can start with us at 6:30. And
if you want to get super hyped, think about the ways in which what the Tigers have done over the last 2 months kind of bodes for like postseason pitching management and getting that kind of thing done. Like if we want to read into it and get super stoked, like you see that you have a manager that can handle all this kind of crap, deal with all kinds of different matchups against tough teams. And this probably isn't our year, but it just kind of gives you that indication of what they've got to work with in this management group, front office all the way down, AJ Hinch, the whole staff. They can win big games. They can overcome, the kind of adversity that happens in postseason series. And, you can feel good about the future for that, whatever happens. But I'm hype.
By the way, I don't know if you saw our headline earlier, but this was our headline for tonight.
Seth Lugo is due to lose. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
We put that out there in the ether.
So we did have the question from Steve Butts.
Yes.
I don't know if you want to touch on it before we get out of here. He said, any doubts about AJ Hinch and Chris Fetter have been obliterated over the last month and a half. If you were reading tea leaves, 1, will they be able to retain them? And 2, who would you project as possible targets for the Fetter Lund Nieves workshop next year? So
I like that name of the workshop, by the way. That it sounds like something very PBS like Fetter Lund Nieves workshop.
Yeah.
Well, you get a cool tote bag, like in PBS, like you get this nice tote bag for the Lund Fetter Nieves pack here, ladies and gentlemen. So
learn how to insert joy into your life through crafting.
learn how a changeup can change your life with this $5 donation to the Fetter Lund Nieves Fund. You'll get this cool tote bag and a coffee mug, something similar like this, Craftsman.
Yeah.
So
you can talk about Tigers Radio.
No, but to answer the question, Steve, I know Hinch has got to sign an extension. I think Fetter will be back around here too. I don't think they're going anywhere. As far as I know we talked about eternally. I like this. I like to think that with Rainer Castillo going to Arizona Fall League, we could see Rainer Castillo maybe if he can advance through West Michigan pretty quickly. I mean, that would be kind of cool to see him. I don't say too far up, but I mean, the sad news, by the way, that Wilmer Flores is out for the rest of the year. He had right shoulder inflammation. So Gibson Long's due to come back. I think Gibson Long comes back and they use him as a bullpen weapon. So I like to see them maximize him more short as a reliever versus a starter, because I think just for the sake of building up his arm right now, because he's going to be coming back from Tommy John, I think Gibson Long they're going to find a way to continue to use that. It was a slider that he threw a really good slider, but he was throwing, I'm trying to think of the other pitch he was throwing that he learned last year, the changeup that was going along with that. And so, but as far as other arms go, I know that we talked about Bueller, but there was another arm too, Chris, that was mentioned on Thursday. That was
somebody mentioned Shane Bieber.
Yeah. Shane Bieber was a good one too. I think that would be a good one to weaponize.
Maybe they could fix that old fella. I don't know.
Verlander.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fair amount of. Seen somebody else talk about Giolito. Maybe the one guy that I feel like teams have been trying to get Nick Pivetta right ever since he was a prospect.
Yeah.
And he's always had like really nasty stuff. It always gets a lot of strikeouts, but gives up a lot of homers. And it's like,
He was in my like Zach Wheeler bucket. Like, like one of those dudes that should be better because he has 2 good breaking balls and enough velocity, but could never get the fastball, sorted out. Yeah, that's not a bad call at all. I like that idea as a cheaper one.
Yeah, he's still relatively young. I think not like 35 or whatever. He might be 31. I don't know exactly what his age is, but yeah, I mean, you can count on them going out and getting some interesting guys. Toledo does have a player option, and it's at like $19-20 million, so he may stick around. Probably will. I don't know if it's tampering. Yes, you would think so, but people I've seen people mention him. Somebody mentioned Mike Soroka. I'm like, it just depends. You get a guy in a cheap deal. Joe Ross. They went Tyson. Let's try Joe. There are a lot of arms out there. There are a lot of relievers out there that I think would be interesting to go get too. But they haven't. Yeah. I guess technically Shelby Miller was kind of like a reliever reclamation project, but he was coming off a pretty good year for the Dodgers. So maybe that's the next step. Go out and find somebody. Go get Camilo Doval, trade for him, and fix him.
Yeah, I like that idea. And maybe it comes down to finding one of those starters and turning them into a reliever, because that's usually the more tried and tested way to go about it, rather than like shelling out a bunch of money for like a Josh Hader type or something, which this front office is rightly probably never going to do, and that's okay. It was nice that Tyler Holton got the night off.
Yeah,
those guys exhausted from trying to decipher the schizophrenia that is Larry Vanover. I understand. Fetter Workshop, Elvin Ford, just more like it. I like that. That's good stuff. And I wouldn't mind bringing back Chafin either as a lefty reliever, but I kind of feel like you're going to have Herder in there too, along with Holton. Yeah. I don't know. I like Chafin. I'm always kind of down for some more Chafin.
Yeah, I'd much rather them take like an opportunity, like another arm though. That's like maybe another waiver opportunity versus bringing back Chafin again. I think if they can bring somebody like similar to Tyler Holton, where they don't have a lot of options left. And by the way, somebody mentioned on Twitter, 2.5 games back in reality. Yes, I know it's 2.5 games.
We
back
all
in
know.
reality,
Yes,
we all know. Diesel Pete's, folks. Can we just have fun a little bit? 1.5? Can we just say 1.5? Is that cool? Can I have your permission?
We have
to
be
that?
accurate. We have to be accurate and say 1.5. We know it's 2.5, but we have to say what it is actually. I'm sorry. I know. I'm getting the same thing constantly.
Yeah. Don't go join Mark Ryan's chat on Twitter. Join. Come on. We've been doing this for like.
Well, if the Tigers win the next 2 games in this series, they'll only be 2 games behind the Royals. Is that right? Do I have that right?
And this is the way to think about it. Just sweep the Royals, and then we'll sweep the next team, sweep the Rays, and sweep the White Sox. Just keep winning.
Yeah.
The rest will take care of itself.
What was it? Was it the Cardinals a couple of years ago, 10 in a row or something like that?
I thought it was like 17.
Yeah, or something like
there was
like
a monster run. Yep.
So right now, as it stands,
the Tigers are fun on Twitter. That's good.
So the Tigers are, they are 1.5 back of the Twins. They are, they're 78 wins. The Royals have 82. So 18 in a row.
Yeah. So, if the Tigers win the next 2 games, they'll be 80 and 73, and the Royals will be 82 and 71, just 2 games ahead although technically 3 games ahead of the Tigers, but still, just keep winning series. Maybe it's too late. But you know what? The Tigers are doing just about everything they can. It's hard to ask for them to play much better than they've been playing, and it's fun. It's fun. These are all playoff games. Enjoy them.
Yeah,
we are up on a Monday night at 10:52, talking about Tigers being 1.5 back in mid-September, ladies and gentlemen.
And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that Sunday crap with the Lions taking over. I want to see.
Listen, we are witnessing right now winning baseball in September, and I am as hard as a diamond in a hailstorm right now, ladies and gentlemen. Really, it's just like because seriously, like, how often do we get to do this? How often do I get this pumped up? I'm yelling, I'm swearing, I'm pumping my chest. We are witnessing winning baseball for all of the crap that we have witnessed in the last 5 years. I don't, screw being, the objective like journalist person that I am.
We have earned this.
I'm having fun. That's pretty hard. Yeah, that is really hard. Deadly Ninja B. Seriously, I could like right now. It can punch holes through paper right now, ladies and gentlemen. That's how excited I am about this right now. All right, so
Cardboard paper, heavyweight.
Cardboard paper. Okay, it's yeah.
Oh no, what? The wife is in the chat. That's a wrap for the show.
Yeah, she's
shout out to Sarah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no. Oh yeah, not just the draft for Roger. Oh, not in a positive manner. Nah, Michael. Yeah, see, so Michael is probably the historian of the show here. So I would. He's right about that. Oh, Max Clark. No, but Sarah. Max, you know what? Hey, you know what though? I did a quick pivot right away after I lost my temper about that, and it was cool. So, but yeah, here's what it is. What Steve said, exactly what Steve said. What's so great is the farm system is healthy, as we've seen it too. Things are actually working, and that's it is for all the minor league baseball we've watched. Things are coming together, and we've watched this since the day one. So that is something that
the Tigers are one of the best organizations in baseball coming around. Yeah, like they're getting to that point, where you can start talking about them.
We actually say, and we're not saying that
need a little more. Need a little bit more next year.
Yeah, we're saying that. And we're not saying sarcastically either. That's the whole thing. You're looking at a guy. Look at the Tigers. Like, here's another example of this. Sean Gunther. All right, Sean Gunther, a lefty who had some heat, had some. He was up with Miami, and then he turned him into a weapon. If you could turn Sean Gunther into a weapon, if you could turn Brandon Hanafy into a weapon, what
and they changed those guys entirely. Yeah. They rebuilt them from scratch. Yeah.
It is like, you know what it is? It's like the $1 Million Man, like the $6 Million Man theme. Like, we build them. We have, we have the technology. Like, just, start doing that. Like, just, that's exactly what it is. And it doesn't matter who it is. Like, if you look at, okay, right now, you're a pitcher, a free agent pitcher right now. Look at Jack Flaherty. He has the Tigers. I mean, if you're going to, the Tigers, you should send the Tigers a gift basket. A nice gift basket.
He really should.
He should.
Chris Fetter deserves a ring if the Dodgers win the World Series.
No, if you do, I mean, you give him a little bit of bonus money. Give Chris Fetter, you buy Chris Fetter a house in L.A. That's what you do. You buy him a house in L.A. with property value extremely.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
No. He's right where he worked for the Dodgers. Listen, no, you know what? No, I'm sorry. Let me take that back, Brandon. Buy him a nice cabin.
In Ann Arbor.
Buy him a cabin in Northern California. You know why? Because there's no teams in Northern California anymore. It's outside San Francisco. All right. And he's not going to San Francisco. He's not going to budget cheap ass San Francisco Giants. No way. That ain't happening.
What else can we get him? Like a lifetime supply of oh God, what's the sandwich place in Ann Arbor?
Zingerman's. Yeah. You know what?
Lifetime supply of food from Zingerman's for his whole family.
Yeah. You know what? Give him whatever he wants. But
you know what I'll say is that I've chatted with Chris Fetter a little bit, and it's all you can always get burned by this, but his take on it is, he wants to stay. He's raising a young son in Ann Arbor. Yeah. He's probably not going to go anywhere. He might eventually manage, but I think we've got him for a couple years here. He turned down the Yankees and the Diamondbacks before we even got him. So, we're probably always going to be scared that he's going to leave us until he finally does. But I think we're in pretty good shape, there for the next couple of years. So, yeah, keep that man happy.
I will say this:
raise all the little thresholds in the clubhouse so he doesn't hit his head. Take good care of this man. Put some padding up there.
Just a handicap, make sure the handicaps. Look, here's the thing. You know what you want? You just said, YouTube user said, I need them to have multiple 2, 3, 4 world players, positional players before I get excited. Okay, that's fair. I get it. But look at right now, they have 2. Matt Verling is at 2.5 WAR. Riley Greene is at 5.2. Yeah, our Kerry Carpenter just around the corner at 1.9. I'm the same way.
Carpenter would be there. Colt will be there next year. Parker's almost there, and Parker's only played about half the season. So
at Fangraphs, you got Greene, Verling, Carpenter, Keith at 1.9, and Rogers at 1.9, and Meadows at 1.6. So
it's getting there.
Yeah,
it's getting there. And I'm with you, YouTube user. I'm the same way. I've wanted the Tigers to have multiple average players. Because if you have average players, you could put together a decent team with that. But you're starting to see that now.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we're talking playoff baseball here, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going up against the great Mark Ryan from 97.1 right now. We are
Playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs. So yeah. So, but yeah.
Should the Tigers have kept Carson Kelly and did the punt on the season back in July? Let me get your calls at 188
248-539.
Why
the Tigers have signed?
Believe in the Tigers.
Yeah, the Jack Flaherty should have. Now the Tigers are regretting the Tigers are regretting trading Jack Flaherty now, aren't they? 248-35. Get out of here. Knock it off. Even your own. Yeah. Anyway, I'll tell you a story.
Talk radio's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat that in the ground. So anyway, folks. All right, so join us tomorrow for Lakeland and Palm Beach, and then Erie and at Akron tomorrow, starting around 6:30 or so. And the Tigers, pardon me,
it's going to be a Sporgy.
It's going to be a Sporgy. So Tigers, we got the Flying Tigers in the playoffs. We got the Seawolves in the playoffs. Tigers potential playoff run here. So the poll football playoffs. The poll, by the way, was 80%. In favor of that, or 90% in favor of that idea, Brandon. So,
yeah, I figured everybody wants playoffs.
Sounds about right. Yep.
This is what
it's funny that there are 10% who are like, no, I'd rather have Skubal win the Cy Young.
It is kind of funny. I mean, I appreciate the Skubal love, but yeah, that's a bit odd. I'm telling you, Skubal, I guarantee wants to make the postseason more probably.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you for everybody for sticking around, and we'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, back tomorrow. Thank you, Brandon, as always. We appreciate it. You sticking around as well, sir.
Love you.
And this is the show I've wanted to have for a long time. To get after our Tigers win, we're on the air watching it, and we all got together as a group of people. Don't forget, go to TigersEmblemaReport.com. Check out the great article by Chris here on Riley Greene and the kind of season he's having. If you can donate, there's a donate PayPal button right there for you. Again, everything goes back into the website. All this we just do this voluntarily. We do it for the love of the game. But we're going to head out to Erie on Thursday. I'm going to head out to Erie Thursday, and then Chris is going to be heading out Friday to Toledo for the last Jackson Jobe start of the season.
Yeah,
that's possibly right. He got one more start, right?
This would be the last one, I believe. I think this is the last week for Toledo.
Yeah, until they call him up for game 162. Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah.
I drifted away.
Let's some reality. Yeah.
I shouldn't even brought that up. Yeah. He needs a little time. Okay.
Speaking of existence. All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good week, everybody.